Well, good evening and welcome to this regular meeting for Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Grigsby?
Here.
Mr. Haynes?
Here.
Mrs. McCarthy? Here. Mr. Baca?
Here.
Mr. Wasselman?
Here. Finalization of the agenda. Is there anything to add or remove?
The agenda is final as presented.
Thank you. We'll move right into the superintendent treasurer's report.
Okay, I would like to call to the podium Superintendent David Britt, who is going to give us a quick update on some changes and updates to our student handbook.
Well, thank you. Happy to, everyone. I thought about doing this a couple of different ways. My initial thought was to go through all 112 pages, starting on page 1. That is cover, that is district logo, and name of district. Phone numbers. Page 2, go to school calendar.
Okay. Can we go to the other version?
We can try another version.
Option 2.
It's just a long time. So if you remember, a year or so back, we actually made a change to our student handbook. We went away from the format that we had been using for a number of years and actually adopted the Neola format. Neola itself has a lot of actual board policy in it itself. So there was not a ton of changes from last year to this year. I've got just, I don't know, half dozen here. So just the highlight. I know you all have a copy of them. Some of it due to the changes that we have made were things that had just fallen through the cracks. So one of those is on page 11. You know, we talk about students being ill. One of the things that didn't make it from the old version to the new version was that if your child had been sick and throwing up 24 hours before, that they should stay home from school. So we made sure that that appeared in the new version. That was something our nurses picked up when they went to the board in the middle of last year and couldn't find it. Further along on page 26, we've got our new grading scales. The last meeting, I think we approved our new core policies. As part of our new core policies, the grading policy changed. So our grading scales that changed slightly appear now in our new board agenda, our new board handbook. Graduation requirements also changed for that class of 2030. It's going back to the 22 credit hours. We approved that at our last meeting as well. So you're going to find that now in there. Page 37 talks about religious expression day. So this has been in our policy for a little bit of time. It just spells a section out now. What that talks about is the process that families have to go through in order to get those days officially counted as religious expression days. So it lays out that policy on page 37. 47 is a new one for us. It's the protection of individual beliefs. That is a policy that we approved last time around. And that one just says that no one has to prescribe a specific set of beliefs in order to be a student in our district. Pages 49 to 54, we cleaned up the code of conduct a little bit. And that was really after having worked through that language for an entire year. We found a couple of spots where some tweaking of language was necessary for clarity, or we felt that some rules belonged better with other rules than where they were. So we went through and made some of those minor changes. We get to page 65. That is a significant change. ECLC has updated their section of the handbook in its entirety. So that really is to align with law, particularly around pre-K and things of that nature. 76 was my favorite page to update because it's one of those things that you never know in years like we have to put in a handbook. But in page 76, we told students they could no longer have DoorDash bring their lunches to them in the cafeteria. I don't know that anything any of us ever thought we would have to have in a handbook, but we have it in our handbook now. And then the last of the main changes is, again, a new policy, and that's on page 112. It's name, image, and likeness in athletics. So it gives kind of the high-level view of student athletes and what they are permitted to do under board policy and still remain athletes according to the Ohio High School Athletic Association. So super high level there for you. Be happy to talk about any of these, or if you come across anything else in policy. I know Mrs. McCarthy shared that she had found one statement. We've got that cleared up. We do think it's good for students to be good while they're here, and I'm just paraphrasing that one. So first part of that sentence was kind of important. So I kept going on. So any questions I can help with?
Grubhub, is that okay?
No, that's also in there under the DoorDash section. So it's DoorDash, Grubhub, or other delivery services, I believe is how it actually reads. So, all right. Yep. appreciate that. So if you do come across questions between now and the time we look for approval here in a little more than 2 weeks, please reach out.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Britt. Next, I would like to introduce our construction team, Bill Sherman and Claire Bank, who are going to give us an update on where we are with construction.
Great. Thank you all.
I'll let Paul boot this thing up here, but thank you all. Good evening, everybody. So last we updated everyone. It was 3 months ago. So there's been a ton of activity in the last 3 months, and I just want to run through high level some of the construction activity that has happened. Right, Paul, sorry, if you would please. I always will throw this overall timeline up on the screen, and you can see we've moved into the dark blue line, which is the construction, which for me is the exciting part. We're starting to make the vision and the dream real. So we're 3 months into that construction bar. Summer 2028 is still the completion date for the new high school. This was the aerial shot in March. So we had the building pad pretty bare, ready for start of foundations. Fast forward one more slide if you would, Paul. Currently, and it's hard to see, but there's a maze of foundations out there, and you could really see the shape of the building. And you can see the massiveness of it, quite frankly, filling that entire site. You could see one high wall, that high wall, and I'll show that in the closer frame in a moment here. That's the wall that's separating the main lobby corridor from the competitive gym and the athletic wing. But lots of activity. Doesn't do justice from this big aerial shot, but a ton of underground activity as well. Focusing in a little bit more, I think this starts to be really exciting for me, so bear with me. So, but you can really see, I'm going to do a little bit of a down the way here. You can really see the student dining area is where the equipment's sitting right now. This is that high wall, and there's that main lobby corridor that separates the student dining. It really runs from the main entrance all the way through the building. And Claire, you can jump in because it's really Claire and her team's vision. We're just putting it in the district's vision. We're just putting together the pieces, but it's exciting. You can see doors going into the competitive gym. I know it doesn't look like much yet, but it really does start to make sense. And there's a lot of effort that goes into something as simple as a block wall. Embeds for features steel roof and all those little holes in the block. That's going to receive framing for the roof. And you can see it's a high roof in that area because it's going to be a really pronounced main lobby corridor. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think. Claire, you could jump in.
No, it is. I think the other piece that I always think is really interesting about this phase is how much the building changes size as far as how it feels.
Yep.
When you go walk into some of these spaces, I've gotten texts from districts before that are like, did they measure right? Did they measure in inches instead of feet? So just keep that in mind as you wander through. Like, it'll change a lot in feeling as you wander through.
Yeah, sometimes at various stations, the project will look like a lot smaller than in reality. But keep in mind too, we have equipment sitting in the student dining area right now. It's actually a very large space. Okay, Paul, if you would, please. So some of the things that we've accomplished in the 3 months, we removed the old maintenance building. That's gone. Our construction site is set up in the old bus garage, and we're fully set up there. We have all of our meetings on site. We're running out of that facility. We made water line taps at Bainbridge underground, 2 taps, put in vaults, so that water line's live. Foundations have started, as I pointed out. Masonry walls have started. We can all see that. That will continue to be ongoing for quite some time. We have underground electric started and continuing. Underground plumbing started. So a lot of the infrastructure, structural steel, albeit it's not on site yet, it's in fabrication. So we're excited to see when that hits the job site. That'll be probably the end of summer in August. You'll start to see that structural steel hit the site. And then there's a whole ton of work behind the scenes, tons and tons. And I'm sure that the district can contend to this, but there's still decisions being made, which is a normal cycle of something of this complex. this kind of complexity, this kind of project. We're doing all of our submittals, where we're submitting every single component that's going into that building. We're making submittals on product data and what that equipment is. So Claire and her team can review it and make sure it complies with the specs. Tons of effort going on behind the scenes as well. Thanks, Paul. So kind of a straight on aerial shot, just to remind everyone, if you would advance one slide, Paul. For construction purposes, we've broken the total building down into three, we call them buildings, but it's still obviously one single building, but A, B, and C. A shown in green. Our goal is, and it's a bit lofty, we recognize that, but by inclement weather, by the end of the year, we hope to have the majority of building A under roof and into dry, so we can work through the winter. The majority of building A is structural steel framing. So once the steel framing starts, it does go together a lot faster than the masonry work, as you can see out there. And the masons and all the activities will then move to building B, which is where all the athletic wing is. And then finalizing the sequence of construction in building C, which is where the Performing Arts Center is. Just some pictures of some of the projects items on site. I know it's boring to everyone but me probably, but the vaults, you can see backflows and meters are installed. This is the water taps, all of you advance. We have foundations going in, foundation block going in. I could just see the flurry of activity on the job site. This is a bearing plate for a column. So there's a ton of that going on in preparation for the steel that's coming on site here in August. So we're getting ready for all of that. Elevator shafts, you saw two towers out there. There's two elevators in the building. Both of those towers are constructed. This is the foundation waterproofing around each of the elevators. This is just another photo. I know it seems like a simple block wall, but it's really complicated because there's reinforcement in that. There's a lot of penetrations and mechanical components and electrical components inside of that wall. This photo shows the crews grouting the cells of that block. So they have basically a hopper full with cement, and they're filling all the cells full. So the walls are structural. All of those bearing walls you see out there are structural. This is actually a shot of your main electrical room. And yeah. Shows you there's a lot of stuff going on in the main electrical room. This is where all of your services come in and out, come into the main panel for the building. It's the hub of the entire building electrically. All of this will be on the ground. It's already backfilled, quite frankly, but it just shows how complex and just the electrical infrastructure is for your new building. And then lastly, like I said, just some underground work going on. This is an electrical duct bank being backfilled electrical conduit because the conduit runs on the ground throughout the whole first floor, and then the underground plumbing going in, and that's being inspected by the city as we proceed as well. So this view really kind of shows a little bit better how the academic wings are approaching Bainbridge. You can see these would be two-story academic wings, and they kind of front Bainbridge. You can really see the building taking shape. And the more you study this, you can really see, there's corridors. You can actually start to make out, pits where there's electrical rooms where electrical conduits coming up. So it's really, it's progressing well, and it's a very intricate, coordinated operation. So what we are anticipating for the next quarter are continuing masonry walls. That's going to be kind of a recurrent theme. You're going to hear me say this over and over repetitively. Underground electrical and plumbing will go on for at least 3 more months. We will be completing, we're just about complete with foundations in that building A piece, and then they'll be moving to the athletic wing, which is building B. And we're excited that the first structural steel should arrive in August, beginning of August is our target. And you'll start to see that get put together again, mostly in the academic wings in building A. That's about it. So questions?
My favorite picture was the water ball. Just saying.
So it wasn't boring to everybody.
No. Tariffs and steel, and are we good on all that stuff? Is there any delays in the steel industry at all? Are tariffs impacting this stuff?
No, we're good on all of that front. This is ironic, but what we're seeing on the steel front more than tariffs is data centers. So data centers are gobbling up all the steel around the country right now. It's bizarre, but that's what's happening. But our steel is actually sitting in in Warren, in the fabrication plant it's being fabricated in Warren, Ohio. And it's sitting there in rolled stock currently. So we have the steel, the rolled steel already in place and already purchased. But it is a real deal moving forward for competition with data center steel and all that.
Okay. And schedule, we're on schedule, ahead of schedule.
We are, well, you'll probably never hear me tell you we're ahead of schedule. In fact, I guarantee you won't, but we are, we're close to where we want to be.
Okay.
You know, and it's always harder to come out of the ground. So I'm reasonably comfortable.
And I appreciate the street sweeper getting out there multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, look, I drove down to today, and there's still some spotty issues there. So it's something we're going to have to continue to.
Right. It's gotten better. The first day we had rumble strip alley right in front of there. And I understood that the rain came in and made it difficult, but since then, you guys have done a nice job of maintaining it. So
it'll be an ongoing challenge, but we'll try to stay
the truck traffic in and out's been maintained in a nice way. So it's being noticed. And I had a resident that was glad to hear those were elevator shafts and not a classroom. Oh yeah, seriously. Yeah. Nice job, Liz.
Well, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Educational report, Mr. Wampel. My bad, back up. Is there anybody that's in attendance this evening that would like to address the Board of Education? No, seeing none, we're good, but Mr. Haynes, you did have an announcement.
Yes, June 11th, they're having the endowment funds golf outing at Bob Links Golf Course, 4141 Center Road in Avon. Shotgun start at 9 a.m. Registration starts at 8 a.m. $100 a golfer or $400 for four of them. It includes 18 holes with cards, snacks, lunch, beverages, and dinner. Team grand prize 400, skins holes, prizes, Rangers, golden ticket, raffles, and more. Questions? Email Kim Ehrlich at nrcs.net or call 440-327-3785.
I just got it. If you guys haven't checked the board, I forwarded you an email from OSBA regarding House Bill 504, which is going to a vote tomorrow morning in the Ways and Means Committee. And it is about another tax relief that the state is considering. So take a second if you can and read that. And it's really easy to like copy and paste what the Ohio School Board Association suggests and to just add a little bit about North Ridgeville City Schools, and it gives you a link to all the committee members on the Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Rumpelman, education report.
All right, several items outlined in the education report. First, we have agreements that include renewal contracts for transportation services through America's Best Transportation and Professional Van Service Company Incorporated, supporting students with disabilities and students experiencing homelessness during the 2026 to 2027 school year. Additional renewal agreements include specialized educational and support services through North Coast Tutoring Services, Belfair Jewish Children's Bureau, Monarch School, Applewood Centers Incorporated, Gerson School, and KidsLink. Also included is a renewal agreement with Thrive Consulting for independent consulting services through Thrive Early Learning Center. Also included in this addendum to the high school program of studies, the addendum includes revisions to graduation requirements for the class of 2030 and beyond, updated language regarding advanced placement AP examinations, and the addition of new course offerings for the education pathway in partnership with Lorraine County Community College, beginning in the second semester of the 2026 to 2027 school year. Finally, we have the Unified Student Parent Handbook for the 2026 to 2027 school year. This is the first reading of these items. The second reading and consideration for approval will take place at the regular meeting on June 25th.
Thank you. Communications report, Mr. Grigsby.
Thank you, Mr. Vaca. It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following gifts of appreciation. The Liberty PTO donated $4,305 for first and second grade field trips, $87 for various clinic items, $320 for a plaque and sensory wall in honor of a student, $1,284 for the Teacher Appreciation Week activities, and $72 for popsicles. The NRHS band boosters donated $27,635 for the purchase of 240 marching band raincoats. The NRHS choir boosters gave $477 to support the NRHS choir program. And as always, we thank our community for the tremendous support of our students.
Buildings and operations. There are several items to consider under this building and operations report. First is North Ridgeville City Schools continuity of operation plan, which establishes the district's operational framework for maintaining essential services and supporting recovery efforts during emergencies or major disruptions. Second, the renewal and revised agreement with Rucho Studios for photographic services for grades pre-K through 12th grade and high school senior portraits, yearbook photos, and athletic photos. This contract will be for a period of 3 years, beginning in 26-27 school year and ending in 28-29. Finally, is the district's food service management contract with Aramark Corporation. This contract will be for a period of 1 year, beginning on July 1, 2026, and 4 renewals of 1 year each for a total of 5 years. This is the first reading. Second reading and consideration for approval will be on the June 25th regular meeting. Human Resources report, Mr. Haynes.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. We have a number of items in the Human Resource report. 3 support staff contract and salary notices, 9 administrative staff contracts, 2 supervisor contracts, supervisor role. 3 non-represented support staff contracts, 10 NREA supplemental contracts, 16 non-NREA supplemental contracts, 1 unpaid volunteer recognition, 1 administrative contract adjustment, 1 supplemental contract adjustment, 1 resolution to amend the supplemental review committee handbook. This is the first reading of these items. Second reading for consideration and approval will be at the June 25th regular meeting. This concludes the Human Resources report.
This concludes the consent agenda. Next, we have other board business, starting with the Human Resources report. Mr. Haynes.
Thank you. We have a number of items considering the Human Resources report. 1 resolution to authorize the executive excellent. I can't pronounce my words today. 1 resolution to authorize the execution of memorandum of understanding. I said that right. 7 supplemental or 7 student summer employment contracts, 2 support staff resignations. I move to approve the Human Resources items in 1 reading.
Moved by Mr. Haynes, second by Mr. Grigsby. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Haynes,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy. Yes. Mr. Vaca.
Yes.
Mr. Waffle.
Yes.
It is recommended that the Board of Education adjourn its regular meeting.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. McCarthy, second by Mr. Haynes. Roll call, please.
Mrs. McCarthy. Yes. Mr. Haynes,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca,
Yes.
Mr. Waffle.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent.